how to stay calm during the next stock market crash. Just relax and watch this video. So it seems like everybody at the moment is talking about this 2021 stock market crash. So I thought I'd just address exactly what to do in this situation, because looking at some of these headlines, it can look pretty horrific. With what happened back in March 2020, many investors right now are unsettled with the approach of new lockdowns in place, of whether there could be a huge new market crash coming again. But what should you do? Should you sell? Well, maybe selling is one option, but look at what would have happened if you had sold back in March in 2020, or I guess at the peak of the market fall. You would have sold right at the low point here, and then literally just watch the market rise and rise and rise. Hey guys, Campbell here from Maximise Your Money. Here we talk about how to make, manage and multiply your money. So if that sounds like something that you'd love, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button and like this video, because you'll feel much happier afterwards. So how do you actually stay calm when the market does crash? We're going to look at a few ways, and we're going to go right into it with our very first one. So the best way to actually understand how to stay calm during a market crash is to actually observe and look at historical data. If we are to go back to like the very start of the quote unquote stock market, looking at the S&P 500 index, we will notice that the stock market has crashed on numerous occasions. And was it the end of the world? Actually, we're still here today, so the answer to that has got to be no. But let's have a real look at the charts. As you can see here from the historical data, there have been a couple of big market crashes throughout the time of this S&P 500. Obviously, we have periods of down cycles where the market is going down. There's another one here, another mini bump here, another downside there, and then of course recent times there was a big one last year. So of course during these times we often see a lot of big selling of shares, which is of course what causes the initial crash anyway. But in that instance, if we look at what's actually happened as soon as the market does crash, or in a relatively short time period after the market has crashed, then we can see here that every single time the market has gone down, actually it's gone back up again. Like every single time. Of course, if we are to bear that in mind whenever there is a stock market crash, that historically speaking, the market has continually gone back up, then I think that really is a great way to put yourself at ease, to understand that, especially if you're a long-term investor, that the markets are going to go up and down, and just to relax and let it do its thing. The second way to stay calm during the stock market crash is to quit watching the news. And when I say that, it's really quite funny, the kind of responses that I get. Of course, you might be saying, well, come on, Jay, like I need to watch the news. I need to know what's going on in the world. However, the news is very much designed in many ways to bring you the most fearful stories, the most dramatic things that are going to keep you hooked and really wanting to come back to find out more and more and more. And we all know that on the news, you know, the more dramatized the story is, the better it does. And that's exactly what their purpose is. It's to keep you coming back for more. And that's really the way that the news industry works. So at the end of the day, the news is always going to try and make it seem like the world is coming to an end, the stock markets are crashing, aliens are coming. There's always going to be something that is going to be portrayed like that on the news. And if you're constantly watching the news and getting really engrossed in all of this negativity that the world's going to end, the stocks are going to crash and you're going to lose everything, then you are very likely to be influenced by that and to sell out your positions, unfortunately, at the wrong time. Of course, when you quit watching the news, you will find that actually in many circumstances you won't have missed anything, because if it's really that important, 9 times out of 10 you will definitely hear about it. Now, the third way is that if you're a long-term investor, then of course the best way to be able to stay calm during this time is just to hold. You don't have to do anything at all. In a lot of instances, especially when you're investing in index funds, then it's absolutely fine to just forget about the crash, just to really get on with what you're doing. And I've heard many experts, they like to say that they advise their clients just to check their performance of their stocks once a year. Now, you've got to have some great self-discipline not to kind of check in on your accounts for a whole year at a time. But actually, if you were to have just done that, historically speaking, you would have been just fine, and you would have had a great peace of mind in the end, actually, when you finally came to look at your big pot of money, hopefully, after all of those years of holding your investments. But actually, there's something else that you can do as well. And when the stock market seems like it's crashing and doing something really crazy, then a lot of people often seem to find this is a good time to actually buy more stocks and shares. Now, it might seem crazy that during the middle of a crash, you'd want to actually go ahead and buy more, but this is exactly the philosophy of Warren Buffett. He says, be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. And basically what that actually means is that when the stock market is crashing, then the price of the shares that you're buying are actually going to be at a cheaper rate than when the market is just going up and up and up. So if you get a chance to actually buy when stocks are really low, then you will be able to take advantage of the capital appreciation once the stocks have gone back up to their historical highs. So what do you think? Do you think there's going to be a stock market crash this year? My thoughts on this is, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know. How could anybody know? 2020, nobody could have planned for that at all. And that's the real truth of the stock market itself. Nobody actually knows what is going to happen. Nobody can foresee the future. So at the end of the day, especially if you're a long-term investor, one of the best ways that I found just to be able to stay really calm throughout this time is just to literally not even worry about it at all. Because looking at the historical data, I know that yes, the market is going to crash, then it's going to rise, then it's going to crash, then it's going to rise throughout the next couple of decades. But eventually, over the long term, it typically tends to go up. And that knowledge, that actual evidence that I can see from historical data in the back of my mind just allows me to just chill out and get on with my life. So if you found this video really, really helpful, guys, then you know what to do. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, like the video if you like the video, of course, because remember, it will make you happy, and turn on notifications just so you don't miss any of the amazing videos that we do on this channel of how to make, manage, and multiply your money in a really simple way to understand. So that's me for the end of this video. I will see you guys in the next one.